But you see these bubbles right here, you're not supposed to get those bubbles at all. And when I shoot the air in there, it's this seal right here. That's what it is. Yo, what is up, guys? In today's video, I'm attempting to find where my headlight is leaking. If you saw my video previously, you saw on the car that the headlight was filled with condensation. This headlight is off my BMW. It's a 2012 5 Series. It's got the 535 package. This headlight is super expensive just to replace. It's really difficult to find a used one with the package that I need. You know, this one has the adaptive headlight control. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a super expensive headlight, bottom line. So I'm gonna try and figure out why it's leaking. I have it sealed back up. I put all the pieces back on it. In my previous video, I took some of it apart. If I can find out where it's leaking and it's something I can fix, I am going to fix it. But I also am considering unsealing it and cleaning it out because it got really gross in there and there's a lot of crap in there from the road grime, however it's leaking in. But something I would like to say is that I have to fix this. Somebody tried previously, whoever owned the vehicle, and I'll try and get you guys a shot of it. They drilled holes, and you can see this. They took a fine drill bit and drilled 2 holes, 1 and 2. This one's a little more difficult to see. They drilled holes in the headlight, and I'm not sure if they thought that was going to dry it out. All right, so unfortunately, I had to take a business call there. I had to interrupt my video. If I come in and I forgot my place where I was at, the 2 drilled holes here, I have to seal those up. They got to be fixed. It's getting moisture in there. It's not drying the thing out. It was a big mistake for them to do this, and it drives me crazy. I'm going to use some clear epoxy and seal them up. It's never going to look quite right after that, but it's what I got to deal with right now until I find a replacement headlight, you know, if I get lucky. But if I can't find where the thing is leaking, I'm gonna do like a soapy water test through a vent hole, put some air in it. If I can't find where it's leaking, I'm gonna pull the thing apart and I'm gonna clean it out and reseal it because it's got a bunch of dirt and grime in here and that's driving me crazy too. I'd really like it to look a little better. I will end up polishing these headlights because the surface got really rough, probably from rock chips and etc. But we're gonna get this looking a little better. That's what we're about to do right now. I've done this one time previously and I had some success with it. We'll find out if I have the same results. So on these headlights, they're completely air sealed, much like all headlights, but there's these little, right here and up here, there's these little vents that are capped with this rubber, and you can cap them. Or for instance, I'm gonna block this lower one. I'm gonna shoot air in this top one, and I think that'll allow me, once I have soap all over this, I think that'll show us where it's leaking, if it's leaking. So I'm gonna check the bottom, and I think I know where it's leaking on the top. You're supposed to have the plug in here, so I have tape over it because the plug is also air sealed, but unfortunately the plug is on the car, so it's almost impossible for me to do it with the plug in there. So I just taped it up and hopefully that's enough. I don't even know if that's gonna work. We're gonna find out together. There's no good way to show you guys this. I'll do my best. You know what, I'm gonna have to cover these cover these holes they drilled. So there's probably air getting out of there too. It's got to be air sealed for this test to work because it kind of works off the compressed air. It might not work. I think I hear it getting air in there. We'll see. I didn't see anything bubbling on the bottom. I think it's on the top anyway. I think it's right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get some soapy water on there. I'm gonna hit it from the top vent hole this time. Oh, see that? Okay, look at that. I don't know if you could have seen that so well. There must be a crack in it somewhere that I can't visually see. I'll try and bring this as close as I can. But you see these bubbles right here? You're not supposed to get those bubbles at all. And when I shoot the air in there, it's this seal right here. That's what it is. This is here. You see it's leaking right here. There's some bubbles. Right here, there's some bubbles. So essentially what's happening is this seal gets old. And I mean, this happens on a lot of these BMWs because I've had like 2 or 3 of these and the headlight did have condensation in there. So essentially the fix is, I guess, on this one, like I could just putty this up, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull it apart and try and reseal the whole thing, which it's not so simple, but it's nothing that I can't do. So far that's the only spot I see it leaking. I'm going to try over here also. I'm not able to show you guys with the camera as well on this side, but we're going to go for it anyway. Yeah, see, I only see it. It's still leaking over here when I'm blowing air on the other side. So this has got to be it. This is where it's getting all the moisture in. Oh, it's got a big leak underneath. Let me flip this over so you can see it. It's got another big leak down here too. I'll try and do this again. Just get it a little soapy. Where's that vent? Just the hardest part is hitting that vent. Where is it? Okay, the vent is right there. Try and get this. See if I can get you guys the right look. I don't even know if I have to cap this other side, but I'm gonna. Am I in that one? You can see it starting to bubble. And I'm just gonna move this camera a little bit more to show you guys. Let's see. Now, just to prove that's not just because I'm blowing the air in it, I'll go to the complete opposite side with the air gun. Okay, all the way over here, blowing in compressed air from this side. Okay, so you can see I have a leak. That's why it's getting moisture inside of it, which that's not a great thing. You know what, I'm not thrilled that that is what the problem is with the headlight. The reason why that is because it definitely means I have to pull the thing apart. And sometimes you bake these in the oven, but I can just use my heat gun. I don't want to hurt any of the inside of the mechanical pieces on the inside of this headlight. So I'm gonna actually use my heat gun and try and heat the lens up as best as I can, and then just work my way around it to peel the lens off. And when I have the lens off, I'm actually gonna fix those little drilled holes, because that can't be like that either, because that'll also let moisture in. But we already knew that those holes were a part of the problem. So yeah, my next step here is I'm gonna actually heat this thing up and try and get the lens off, so then I can get a better idea of what resealing it's gonna be like, if I have to buy like a new piece of glue, or if I can use some kind of glue that will work. I don't even know what seals it, but I'm sure something on the internet will have it, or there's a kit somewhere where it'll reseal it for cheaper than me replacing the headlight. Once I fix the leak in it, I would like to put it all back together, or the parts that I have, clean it up as best I can, put it back together and get it back on the car. I really miss driving the BMW. Unfortunately, the board is shot. I showed you guys in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, go check out the previous video. The board is shot. I can replace the board, but I'm afraid that if I just replace the board, it'll burn out another board. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I'm really hoping I can find one of these in a junkyard so I can pull the headlight, and that's wishful thinking, but we're gonna try it anyway. So I'm gonna put it all back together once I seal it and throw it back on the car. Hopefully it works. The headlight did work, just not the halos, and the condensation was driving me crazy. I couldn't stand the way it looked anymore. So with it being back on the car, it just won't be filled with water, which that's a bonus, and I can always tear this back apart another time to fix it the proper way, or if I find a replacement headlight, I'll just pop the headlight right in. Unfortunately, the clip on the car got damaged also, which is a major letdown because that's might be something I have to repin. I'm not even sure. So we'll get to there when I put it all back together. If it doesn't work, we'll go down that road together and see what I'm gonna have to do. But so for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and heat this thing up and see if I can get it peeled apart. So bear with me here.